Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment which moment hit your heart the most. Today's story will hold your breath from the very first second. If the Hells Angels hadn't arrived that night, Officer Liana's name would have been written on a memorial wall instead of in this story. The night was thick and silent behind the old gas station off Highway 47. Most people avoided this spot after dark. The flickering yellow bulb above the side door looked like it had been dying for years, and the wind carried the kind of lonely whistle that made you check over your shoulder. Officer Liana Torres, 29 years old, determined, disciplined, and respected on the force, pulled in because she needed a quick break. She had been working a double shift, her back aching and her eyes burning from hours of patrol. She thought she was alone. But she wasn't. A white van had followed her for 2 miles. She noticed it. The way it slowed whenever she slowed, the way it drifted just close enough to make her instincts spike. She told herself, relax, not everything is a threat. But her gut whispered back, tonight is different. She walked behind the gas station toward the restroom door. That's when she heard footsteps, heavy, slow, deliberate. 3 men stepped out of the shadows. Tall. Thick. Masked. Eyes full of hunger. One of them twirled a knife. Another cracked his knuckles. The third smiled the kind of smile that made your spine freeze. Look at this, the biggest one laughed. A cop, all alone, no backup. Liana's fingers tightened around her baton. This is your last warning. Walk away. But they didn't walk. They lunged. A hit to her cheek. A punch to her ribs. A kick to her leg. Liana fought back with every ounce of training she had. She struck one across the knee, elbowed another in the jaw. But they were 3, big, drunk, and vicious. Then the metal rod came down on her head. The world spun. She dropped to one knee. Her badge was ripped from her vest and tossed into the dirt. Officer Torres, one thug sneered, tonight, you're nobody. Just as he raised the rod again, a sound tore through the night. Engines. Dozens of them. Roaring like thunder rolling across concrete. The ground trembled. The air vibrated. And then they appeared. Motorcycles, chrome shining under the moon. Leather jackets. Embroidered patches. Hells Angels. Liana blinked through blurred vision. Not them, please not them right now. But the riders didn't slow. They didn't swerve. They surrounded the thugs in a semicircle, engines growling, headlights slicing through the darkness like judgment. The leader stepped forward, gray beard, tattoos across his neck, hands scarred from a lifetime of fights. He removed his helmet and stared at the thugs. Boys, he said calmly, step away from the lady. The thug with the rod scoffed. Old man, this ain't your business. The leader cracked his neck. It is now. No more talking. Chaos exploded. One biker yanked a thug back by his hoodie and slammed him into the ground. Another used his motorcycle chain to knock the knife out of a second thug's hand. The third tried to run, but a massive biker simply stepped in front of him and growled, wrong move. Within 20 seconds, it was over. The thugs were on the ground, gasping, defeated. The leader approached Liana and offered his hand. You okay, officer? Liana hesitated. You helped me. Why? He lit a cigarette, inhaled, exhaled, and said. Because my daughter's a cop too. And where I come from, no woman fights alone. Not on my watch. Liana's throat tightened. The world had judged these men, labeled them criminals, feared them. Yet tonight, they had saved her life. This night was only the beginning. The next morning, the headlines were brutal. Hells Angels involved in violent altercation at gas station. Officer found with known biker gang. Nobody cared that they saved her. Nobody asked what really happened. They just blamed. Liana's captain called her in. Did you coordinate with them? No. Did they attack anyone? No, they saved me. Then why does the report say excessive force? Because the thugs lied. And the media believed them. Her captain warned her. Stay away from them. Don't get involved. You're risking your badge. But how do you stay away from the people who saved your life? That week, the threats began. The thugs wanted revenge. They followed her. Left notes on her windshield. Called her from blocked numbers. One night, they cornered her outside her apartment complex. We owe you a lesson, one hissed. But before they could take a single step, motorcycle headlights filled the street. Hell's Angels. Again. The same leader stepped forward. I told you, he said coldly, she's under our protection. The thugs ran. Liana felt her voice shake. Why keep helping me? The leader crossed his arms, eyes softening for the first time. Because you remind me of my daughter. She died on duty 4 years ago. Drunk driver. He paused. I wasn't there to save her. But I can be here, for you. Her eyes watered. I'm so sorry. He shook his head. That's why I stepped in that night. You deserved a chance to go home. My little girl didn't get one. Silence wrapped around them. Heavy, but healing. From that night on, Liana was never alone. Not in the shadows. Not during her shifts. Not when the city turned against her. The Hell's Angels watched from a distance, never interfering with her cases, never crossing the line, but always ready if danger drew near. Slowly, the truth surfaced. A local store's security camera caught everything, the thugs attacking her, the bikers saving her. The city changed its tune. So did her department. So did the media. A reporter asked her. What do you want to say about the Hell's Angels? She looked straight into the camera and said. Heroes don't always wear badges. And sometimes, the world misunderstands the people who step up when it matters most. Her words broke through stereotypes. Shattered assumptions. Opened conversations. Weeks later, she placed her badge on the leader's daughter's memorial stone. I hope she knows, Liana whispered, her father saved me, because he couldn't save her. The leader stood quietly behind her. Thank you, he whispered. Liana smiled. No, thank you. Sometimes family isn't blood. Sometimes protection comes from unexpected places. And sometimes, the people the world fears become the very people who save it. Subscribe, like, and share if this story touched your heart, and don't forget to comment which moment gave you chills.